Jar Jar Binks kills Snape. This review is going to be completely spoiler-free, even though I already know that everybody has already gone to see it or has had it spoiled for them. Me, personally, I had it spoiled 2 whole hours after it came out, which means someone had to go out of the cinema half an hour before it ended and go out and go on their phone and then put it on the internet. Who are these people? Why do you have to be such dicks? Snape killed... Oh my god! Hey. Awful. Star Wars The Force Awakens is obviously the 7th installment in the beloved Star Wars franchise. It takes place 30 years after the events of Episode 6, so after the Ewok party, then forward 30 years. Oh, and there's a new bad guy in town, the First Order, in other words. The Empire, but again. I mean, what? Who's saying that? Not me. The First Order, of course, is headed by Darth Vader 2.0. Oh, whoops, I mean Kylo Ren. A group of heroes, including our new favorite characters, Finn, Rey, and Poe, have to join the Resistance and basically blow up another big ball. But it's bigger this time. A lot bigger. But trust me, the big sphere is really big this time. Trust me, so it's fine. It's fine. First off, I just want to take time to talk about the performances in this film. Daisy Ridley is fantastic, and when I say that, I don't mean that she's fantastic throughout the whole film. In the beginning, she's a bit wooden and stiff, and honestly, I'm glad that J.J. Abrams was the director on this, because a lot of directors would have been like, it's fine, I don't care. Give me my paycheck and use CGI. I'm looking at one person in particular. Just guess. Just guess who. Guess.
I don't like
Guess.
sand. It's coarse, rough, and
Jar Jar's a key to all this. Hey, instead of releasing the original in its original form, let's ruin it again. But yeah, when we're first introduced to her character is very relatable, likable, her performance is decent, mediocre at best, but in the action scenes, and as this movie goes along and we learn more about her, she's just great. Really. John Boyega is fantastic as Finn. He is basically a stormtrooper from the First Order that gets some blood smeared on his face, and he's like, ew, gross, I'm not gonna be part of the First Order anymore, I'm gonna join the Resistance. Whoa, I'm gonna be a rebel. Han Solo. He is absolutely amazing in this role. I loved him. He was so likable. He was funny. The humor really hit, which of course is the script and the direction, but of course the actors have something to do with it. Very good. Oh, and extra points for him being a really big Star Wars fan. Like, he's a massive Star Wars fan. He has his action figures of himself hoarded, and I think that's really funny. The original cast is actually really good as well. I expected them to be really crap, but Harrison Ford, for one, did not Crystal Skull this movie. He didn't just put the uniform on again and go like, give me my paycheck. He also didn't try to play Han Solo from 30 years ago. No, he played an aged Han Solo that is just pissed off, really. That being said, though, there are some really good Han Solo moments where you see through that oldness, and it's like, hey, Carrie Fisher was actually better than she was in the original trilogy, and I know that's not saying much because she wasn't the best actor back then, but I loved her in this. She really sold her role. I really liked Domhnall Gleeson, or I know I said that completely wrong, as General Hux. He's a fairly minor character that basically just yells all of his dialogue, but if his performance was crap, it would have just completely taken me out of everything. I'm really glad they got someone good in this role. Now, all of those actors I just said, they were built up to this. In my opinion, Oscar Isaac is the best actor in this whole cast. He is fantastic. He plays Poe, a fighter pilot that is basically the awesome flight skills of Luke Skywalker if you times them by 10, and the coolness of Han Solo if he was never a dick or a smuggler, and he was just perfect. I love him in this movie. Really, a lot of people probably could have played this role, but not as good as him. He really sold it. He was extremely likable. I love him Really, I want to watch every single thing with either Poe or Oscar Isaac in it from now on. Amazing. Trust me. The key to success. Give Oscar Isaac some awards, please, people. Really, he deserves them. J.J. Abrams does such a fantastic job of directing this movie. Honestly, brilliant. I'm so glad that he was given this movie, and I'm so glad that he got to write it along with some really talented people. For example, Lawrence Kasdan and Michael Arndt. I don't know how to pronounce that. Just went with a random accent. Didn't work. It really feels like a Star Wars film, from beginning to end. The first shot of the movie, after the opening crawl, is this massive ship that blots out a planet. You're like, oh god, I am already so hyped for this. I know this movie is going to be amazing. Ooh, baby. It puts you straight in the middle of the action and doesn't waste any time doing it either. You do not care about the time in the real world. You're just sucked back into Star Wars, because that's where you want to be. It's anywhere away from Jar Jar Binks. Misa! Misa! I don't like sand. I don't like sand. It's coarse. It's rough and it gets everywhere. He doesn't listen! I am sweating. And honestly, I have to admit, I wasn't that hyped for The Force Awakens. And I'm not really that big of a Star Wars fan, but as soon as the opening crawl and the opening shot came, and I heard the Star Wars music, and I saw episode 7 up on the screen, I was like, I am so glad that I am alive in the time that I am right now to be able to see this in cinemas. I know that they're going to end up sucking another trilogy out of this, but I'm glad that I get to watch another good trilogy in cinemas. That's awesome. It's also even cooler considering I'll probably never be able to see the original trilogy in cinemas, because let's face it, Disney is not going to let anyone screen that without paying millions and their soul. I'll pay my soul for admission. I don't care. Give me a couple tickets. Give me a couple tickets for my friends. I'll buy them all. I'll buy all the tickets. I got money. No, I don't. The new characters are introduced in a timely manner, and they're developed actually really quickly without taking up half of the movie, like every single other film. Why do you people keep forcing it down my throat, man? Actually, I think I'm just trying to get my anger out about Joy, because that movie did exactly that, and it was terrible. Oh, I don't want to talk about Joy. Kylo Ren is also a fantastic villain, and that's about all I can say without spoiling anything. And I'm gonna be honest, we don't know much about the new characters, but I'm really glad that they left it like that, because now we have so many unanswered questions that are both frustrating and amazing, because they're things I wouldn't even think about being in the new movie or not being in the new movie. Just the fan theories that this movie is making is incredible. We have another 2 big movies, though, that will tell us everything that we need to know. Hopefully. I swear to God, if I'm not told what anything means, then I'll be so mad. Just give it to me. You're giving me Star Wars cravings. I need the next movie. If it's not good, I'll just cry. I'll probably still see it 5 times, but I'll cry. I'll cry every time. Every time. I don't like sand. It's rough, it's coarse, it gets everywhere. George Lucas, man. The last 30 minutes of this movie could have cut at any point, and I would have been fine with it, but I'm so glad that they didn't. Seriously, every single, 10 seconds, I was like, and cut. Oh, they're still going. Good. Give me more. Actually, I think this is the first trilogy of anything that I've been alive for that isn't based off books that I can just read. Although I know that The Force Awakens is a book, I don't know how closely related it is to the movie, and I'm fairly sure all of the other books that were written about Star Wars, the expanded universe, aren't canon anymore. So, but I have so many questions. When the ending did come, though, it was so satisfying to me as a viewer, because it didn't just wrap up fine. It didn't just wrap up really tightly and put a bow on it and go like, this is fine, you don't need to see the new movie. It was a cliffhanger. It was a fair enough cliffhanger. It was a well-deserved cliffhanger. And I was like, hey, you got me this time. But next time, I'm gonna get you. Probably not. You'll end on a cliffhanger as well, you dick. Now, the plot is extremely similar to the plot of A New Hope, with sprinkles of really the whole original trilogy sprinkled in there. Now, a lot of people have been complaining about that, but I think it's actually a good thing. Keep in mind that this movie is a bridge movie. It's meant to keep people that are nostalgic about the original trilogy and never, ever want anything to change. They just have nostalgia goggles on, and they're the ones that will pay $20 million to see this movie 1,000 times. And then you've got the new generation of people that are like, Star Wars, that's for nerds, I don't care, I'm a cool kid. You have to please both of these people, and I feel like this movie really did that. And as someone that isn't much of a Star Wars fan, even I enjoyed the fan service. I was like, hey, I recognize that person, and there were some predictable people that you knew were going to be in there, but the lesser characters that are just really loved by fans, I was really surprised by them. JJ also made the right decision by actually making things as in practical effects instead of prequeling it or special editioning it. And I swear to God, if George Lucas touches this when it comes out on Blu-ray, I will choke him. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want BB-8 to be replaced with a CGI version of Jabba the Hutt head spinning on another Jabba the Hutt head. I don't want that. Don't touch it. I hate you. Really made the right decision by making everything, or pretty much everything, in this movie practical. Even the things that are only used for 5 minutes. The puppets look fantastic. Everything about this movie looks brilliant. Really, the sets... I am a follower of J.J. Abrams now. I love you. I love you. And when I say that, there was CGI that was noticeable. But honestly, if you're not looking for CGI, and if you're someone that somehow hasn't seen any CGI in movies, actually no, that's impossible. You've seen the special edition.
Look, Jabba, even I get bored at such fashions. You think I had a choice?
Jabba, oh my god, I'm going crazy in this heat. When I say that though, there was CG in this movie, but it was used very sparingly. Like, I hardly even noticed it. And when I say that, it was noticeable, but I did understand why it was used. I mean, it's not bad CG. It's like Godzilla 2014 CGI. You notice it. You know that Godzilla is CGI. You know that the buildings are CGI, but it still looks good. Actually, that movie looks pretty fantastic. I don't care what other people think about that movie. I still like it. Overall, is The Force Awakens the best movie ever? No, not really. Is it the best movie of this year? No, not in my opinion. That still goes to The Martian. Every single person that is making a top 10 list is like, yeah, Star Wars The Force Awakens is the best. And I might not be the right person to ask about that because I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. But honestly, this was still enjoyable. The Force Awakens is a really good start to a new trilogy. Really, it's very solid. In some ways, I don't want to say this because people will kill me, but I kind of like this more than A New Hope. Actually, I kind of like this more than the original trilogy, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because the internet will kill me. Someone will find me, put me in a bag, and hit me with metal lightsabers. People will do that. They're crazy. The Force Awakens is a fantastic start to a new trilogy. Really, I'm extremely excited for episode 8 and 9 and every single spin-off that is coming between that. It's actually a yearly thing at this point, and that scares me. It is beautifully written, beautifully directed, fantastically acted, even though there are some shaky bits from the old actors. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and this is definitely a first day Blu-ray purchase for me, at least. I enjoyed this movie, and that is why it gets a 9 out of 10 and my see it on the big screen seal of approval and my day one Blu-ray purchase seal of approval. So, have you guys seen The Force Awakens yet? And I already know the answer. Yes, of course I have, Darcy. Who do you think I am? If so, which you definitely already have, seriously, if you haven't seen it, why? How? Comment your opinions down below, and have a great day and happy watching. I have a review for Joy coming up. Hint, bad movie. Don't see it. Please don't see it. Terrible. I also have one for Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Very long review. It's going to be painful. It's going to be an experience. Anyway, see you. Goodbye. Have a great day. Why the hell isn't Hope just Ant-Man? I mean, she's sure as hell trained enough to be... Oh, they're setting up to... They're setting her up to be the Wasp.